Yeah.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Meta Main Street. I'm Nick. That's Jeremy. And this week on the Meta Main Street, we're unraveling an old school style heist, dropping the freshest Roosevelt news, raising the curtain for a full Muppet show, and showcasing a whole lot of 3D printed Disney magic. Let's get into it. All right, man. How was your week?
Yeah, it was a good week. How was your week?
Not too bad. You know, we're weather's starting to cool down a little bit here. We're starting to get more into spooky season.
Yeah, it definitely feels like fall.
Yeah, it definitely does. I heard it dropped pretty quick for you. So we're still like in the 70s and 80s up here. So it's getting there.
We're hovering in the low 70s around here. But actually, it's the best time of year. It's also not a lot of rain, too, which is really cool.
Well, pretty soon for us, we're going to be getting into cornstalk season and all that fun stuff. And
wow.
In fact, we went to a pumpkin patch this past weekend, too. So
I have my first fall fair this weekend.
Fall fair. Very nice. Very nice. Right on, man. Well, dude, we had a good bit of news that dropped this week.
We did.
And for starters, I mean, I guess we're just going to jump right into it. We're both wearing Roosevelts for once.
We are. I had to make sure to put one on this week.
Right on, man. That one is vintage, if you want to call it.
It is vintage. It is exclusive. It is from last year's Black Friday sale.
Now, if I was to look at that one, I would almost say it belongs in a museum.
That might be what you say.
Well,
and Nick, you're wearing. Actually, I just watched a Paging Mr. Morrow video from the Halloween party yesterday, and he was wearing that exact shirt that has Huey, Dewey, and Louie on it.
It does. I mean, he's got some pretty good taste, man. I don't know.
He does.
No, he is awesome, and seriously, we get a lot of our inspiration from him. Nate, Mr. Morrow, you are awesome, and I can't wait to hopefully meet up with you again. In fact, he went on a cruise recently. I watched his cruise video the other day. I know we're going back a little bit here, guys. I know he did come out with it a couple weeks ago. If you get a chance to watch it, one of the best videos he's ever made. It just shows him living his life. Nothing brought me more joy and made me think I want to go on a cruise more than seeing him just plop a chair in the middle of the ocean at Castaway Cay, grab a rack of ribs and eat them while sitting in the middle of the ocean while he's just getting completely just like soaked. And he's just there eating ribs. He's got a whole bunch of sunscreen that he didn't rub in right on his head. It was so funny.
That's funny.
And it's been getting me on a cruise kick. So I don't know, maybe we'll book another cruise here. I know I got one of the books.
Yeah, you already got one in the books. What do you mean book another?
I need one sooner, man. Come on. In fact, you know what the crazy part is? So the cruise he was on was one that we were actually debating taking.
Oh, wow.
So the wife and I literally were thinking that exact cruise. It was like a 3-night cruise. We were very much debating going on it.
Which ship?
Oh,
the Wish. Oh, nice.
We were debating going on it, and we're like, nah, we won't do that. But it's okay. I have a 7-day one coming up sooner than later. Well, like a year from now.
A year from now.
Well, it's under a year now. So, but yeah, so this is the Tricks, Treats, and Trouble shirt from the new Disney Halloween collection they came out with. And Jared is wearing, in case you guys didn't get the joke earlier, he's wearing the It Belongs in a Museum Indiana Jones Roosevelt that is now pretty vintage. So, has not been available for quite some time now. And that one, and there's one other one that I really wish I could snag. So maybe on the Insiders page at some point I will manage to go ahead and snag it or something. But anyways, man, that being said, we had some more Roosevelt's news drop this week.
Yeah, big week, big drop, and into spooky season. And we're talking about some Marvel zombie releases that happened today.
Look at that. Yeah, so if you guys are big into the old school comic books and all that, and a lot of the more Marvel lore that exists in the comic books and all that, these are for you. They definitely are. I mean, they scream, comic book vibes, and they look great. I mean, Roosevelt, we don't have a picture of the other ones that Roosevelt released for their own private line and all that, but they're loaded up with spooky season shirts, man. They got tons of them out there right now. So any genre of spooky season you like, whether it be Disney, Marvel, just Roosevelt exclusive ones, they got it all. So
they really do. And this collection is really fun. It reminds me of how in California Adventure, and Adventures Campus, you can meet zombie Captain America.
Honestly, I thought there was going to be a shirt exclusively to him because in the email they sent out yesterday, it looked like one of them was like all of just Captain America as a zombie, and I got really excited thinking that might be the case, and instead we kind of have a hodgepodge. So,
Hmm.
I personally, I don't think this is one I might get. But again, if you're into the comic books and you really like them, um, this is for you.
Yeah, it is cool.
It
Moving right
definitely is.
along, we got a lot of talked about today, so we'll move it along a little bit. A lot of conversation I want to have.
Ooh, okay.
So this
Look
was
at
the
that.
week that we started the Tron Ares Lightcycle Run overlay. And I was very interested to see how exactly this went down and what they actually changed about the ride. So I watched a couple videos, got kind of lay of the land of how it works. So my one of my questions from a previous episode was, are they going to change the music loop in the queue? That answer is no. It's the same music loop. Um, there are, and they obviously things they changed is they added some red lighting, which not really added. I mean, they're RBG lights, so they just changed, they reprogrammed the lighting, and they added a new on ride audio for it. So here's the premise of essentially what it is. The master controller takes control of your light cycle and has you spread his malicious code throughout the grid during the ride. Um, it's kind of funny because like orange team is still racing you, uh, and it's really also bizarre because they'll go by and he goes, "Ignore them, keep going." It's like, yeah, it's really interesting. Like he tries to totally like change the ride, but the ride's still kind of the same, just some red lights.
I,
Um,
I do wonder if he said ignore them, keep going. If that might be some kind of like a bit of foreshadowing to the movie coming out. Maybe that's something maybe we'll see something like that in there. I
yeah, it's
wonder.
very possible. It's very possible.
I mean, because at this
Um,
point, I think we've really only ever seen in Legacy in the older Tron and all that. Not that I've seen much of the older Tron. I know it's on Disney Plus, but um, we don't really see much of any other team besides Blue.
No, you're definitely correct there. I mean, you see, I forget what color
You
the
see, no, you
the
just see. I think orange. No,
I
yeah,
think
I
it's
guess yeah,
orange.
orange or
Yeah,
yellow.
yellow. Yeah. But yeah, not much of Team Red because it is, I guess, a virus you could call it, or malware or something. Uh, so I thought it was cool. And at the end of the ride, he's like, "Aha! I have successfully taken over the grid." And just like that, they go, "Actually, program override. You've saved the grid." I'm like, "Oh, that was a really quick turn of events."
It's like we got to go back to the colors, guys. Back to the colors.
Yeah. So
That's
Nick, what are
interesting.
your initial thoughts on it? Like, do you think it's cool or?
I think it's really cool. I am curious because at the end of the ride, if you never stopped and really taken a look at it, I know I did at least when it first opened. They have the other teams and explains about them there at the end of the ride. There's a section when you're walking out past the lockers that they actually have other ride vehicles or not ride vehicles per se, but mock-ups of what they would look like, kind of deal. And it explains what all the different teams are. There's Team Green, there's Team Red, there's a couple others as well. So it makes me wonder if eventually they might go ahead and continue with that. You know what I mean?
I feel like they made Team Green just for their enterprise sponsorship, but
I kind of felt that too. Like I really did because Team Green is the only one that I think actually has like a full size like vehicle
yeah,
kind of
they're
thing
like
there.
enterprise. Oh, all right. Um, yeah, I mean, I think it's really cool. I'm glad to see them doing some more promotional overlays, not just like a seasonal Halloween or Christmas. However, I do think Tron like Cycle Run is an easy candidate for a Christmas or Halloween overlay during the parties because it's literally just lighting.
Oh, absolutely. And I think, honestly, if you were to just do that for just like a Halloween party or a Christmas party, yeah, if you don't even have to do anything besides just change the lighting. And I think everyone's going to go nuts.
Right.
It just makes it more unique. It's the same reason why we ride it at night, right? I mean, we like seeing the lighting better and um, really feel like you are part of the grid.
Yeah, and it's great that we're seeing this come to Disney World. We don't often get a lot of overlays, especially during normal operating hours. We'll get your overlays during the parties, which are just slight tweaks to the ride. But having something that runs all day is really different. Speaking of that, like thinking about some other overlays I would love to see come to Disney World, like currently at Disneyland, you can do the Nightmare Before Christmas Haunted Mansion. I'd love to see that in the
Yeah.
world. Um, I don't know. There's a ton of stuff that I think there's a lot of opportunity. Nick, do you have any ideas off the top of your head, like rides you would like to see get either a promotional or more permanent seasonal overlay?
I would definitely say, Space Mountain's one of the big ones. That one, when they did, not necessarily the Halloween one, because let's face it, it's just that with the lights off, right? The
Yeah,
Christmas overlay, though,
is awesome.
if they did that over like December, dude, like
Yeah,
I
they
would
should run it
lose
all
it.
December. Yeah, they were if they should run it the entire month. And, I that's a really good question. So like after the parties are done, at the during the Christmas time, they will run the Christmas parade for like a good week and a half. And I'm wondering, do they do the overlay in Space Mountain then or no?
For the well, are the parties still going on or no?
No, so it's after so they don't even start doing the Christmas parade in the during normal operating hours until all the parties are done. They'll do it for like Christmas to New Year's, that period. They'll do it during normal operating hours. So I'm wondering if they're doing the Space Mountain. I don't think they are with
I
the
don't think
overlay.
they are. I do know that it is. There is a little bit of setup time, not a lot, but I do know that is part of that is part of that time period that they really do utilize when they're transitioning from part closing to normal part guests over to the party guests.
Yeah.
Because that was one that I remember when I went to Very Merry Christmas Party a couple of years ago. I ran over to that, and that was the first thing. I'm like, I have to do this. This is like number one. And like, oh no, it's gonna take us like an hour, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go get cookies then. I'll be back. And so many cookies. But dude, again, I mean, we won't talk too much about it. But again, cookies and stuff. That's I guess. Well, I guess we can segue into this a little bit. I guess that's why I would really like to see these overlays last longer, right? Because when we have the parties and all that going on, there's so much more to go do that I don't necessarily want to prioritize a ride overlay. I mean, we have fireworks to go see, we have parades to go see, we have maybe treats or something like that to go ahead and grab. It
Right.
just, I get that they want you to keep coming back, but we've talked about it before that, not for nothing, when you're going to a party like this, you really got to prioritize at this point. And,
Yeah.
it's that could be the make it or break it of, well, do I wait in line 2 hours? Will I only have this event going on for 4 hours? Or do we go ahead and, do I stay in line the whole time and just ride this and miss everything else? Again, you really got to set standards and priorities for what you want to go do.
Yeah, I was thinking about Tomorrowland Speedway. So for the Christmas party on that one, they put a lot of lights and decorations around the attraction. And it's funny, if you go on a normal day at night, they just won't even light them up. It's
It's so
literally a
stupid.
flip of a switch, and they're like, "Christmas party, you pay more? All right, we'll turn the lights on." I'm like, I don't think those lights are making or breaking my experience in the Christmas party or like not being in the Christmas party. So just put them on. They're already out there. They look fantastic. The Tomorrowland Speedway has so much additional land around it that they could easily just put more things to look at. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And
absolutely.
I would love to see them do. I don't think they do anything for Halloween on that ride. That would be another candidate for seasonal overlay. Um,
Absolutely.
but thinking about like promotional, I mean, it's hard to think of one right now. But I like to see this one. It's obviously for an upcoming movie. I think you could easily do that as well. Like, I'm trying to think like how would you do that or where would you do that? It might as be as simple as adding a character that is coming, like going to be part of an upcoming movie to an attraction, which would be very easy and small to do.
I mean,
For
even if you
instance,
do it in like Tomorrowland, you have the stage right there, right out in front of
right.
Space Mountain.
But I'm even thinking like the new Toy Story is coming out, or Toy Story 5. I think is it 5 at this point? Around
Yeah,
5.
5. Yeah,
So if there's a new character that's going to debut in that, maybe, or the new Conan O'Brien character, maybe throw him in Midway Mania. You know what I mean?
there you go. I mean, yeah, I think you're 100% right. I mean, doing something like that in especially these virtual environments that they're creating now, it wouldn't be that hard to go do. I'm even almost thinking like if they were to go do like another Princess and the Frog later on down the
Yeah.
line. I mean, if you think about it, a lot of what is being done and played on the characters now, their projection mapping, usually the faces now for a lot of things, a lot of, the characters in Tiana's and all that. And especially like in the indoor scenes, I believe that they do that. As well as, like even like the party at the end, and you have all those characters that are there. I mean, there's endless possibilities to what you could go ahead and I think change
Absolutely.
for the promotional things.
The other, I was thinking about Toy Story. Forky, no representation in Toy Story Land.
Dude,
But
everyone just thinks he's trash. Why?
I don't get that. Although he wants to be trash, so I mean, there is that. But
Fair
I
enough.
mean, it would be nice to see him there, And I don't know. I know, like people are like, "Whoa, why don't you put all the different characters in Star Wars?" And I know for Galaxy's Edge, for a while, they were trying not to do that to keep it within to keep the story consistent and keep it within the same time zone. And then they've been making moves, at least in Disneyland, that would kind of don't really make sense with the timeline. They're like, whatever at this point, and I am kind of all here for it. Like,
Yeah.
Galaxy's Edge, I love the idea of it. I love the land. It wasn't committed to enough to make it as immersive as it could have been. It is immersive, but like I'm not so in depth with the story that I would be upset seeing like Darth Vader walk around. You know what I mean?
I 100% agree. I think the big thing for me, I mean, if you really think about it, the only area that I think is really set to that particular storyline and that timeline would probably be the First Order area by the fighter over there.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, everything else could technically go. I mean, you get the Millennium Falcon is in the original canon and all that.
Yeah.
And you have a couple A-wings there and a couple other ships. I mean, it can all work.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that bad at all.
No.
I mean, maybe just don't have Darth Vader go walk over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Have him just kind of peruse maybe on that pathway, maybe going towards Toy Story Land. That
I mean,
we are photos in or something.
We are going to lose his meet and greet, so I don't know where they're going to put him, if they're going to put him somewhere. So I will. You know what? Open Jedi Academy again. Like, when is that coming back, or is that stage just going to sit there forever?
Is that the one that's over by Star?
Yeah, the Star Tours. They had all the kids go up on stage, and yeah, we're really going on weird tangents here. So let's get back in track.
Well, the only thing I want to add to that is I thought it was funny that I saw on one of my last trips, I was eating over at Backlot Tour and all, or at the
Backlot Express.
Backlot Express, sorry, and there was this guy that and his son walked over, and they like saw the backside of the AT-AT over by Star Tours, and they were like, oh wow, you can see it's not an actual AT-AT. There's like a catwalk up there, and I'm like, if only you realize that this park used to be so much more than just the actual things. I was like, it just kind of made me laugh a little bit inside. I'm like, this used to be all we had, guys.
I mean, yeah, that whole area is purposely made like that to look like a movie set, because that's because it's Hollywood Studios, right?
Exactly.
But yeah, totally get your point there. So we'll move on, but I will say for the listeners, I'd love to hear in the comments what you guys think. What would be a good ride overlay, maybe even seasonal or promotional? Really, let's focus on promotional, because I think we can get really creative there, because we do see some seasonal already.
And speaking of promotional, seriously, guys, go ahead and leave a comment, because not for nothing, we hit a huge milestone this past week. I don't know if you guys saw our post or not. We hit 3.8 thousand views on our reel last week with Buzz in it. So seriously, thank you guys so much for watching. We hope we got some more viewers out of it. We hope you guys are just enjoying everything. So listen, if we grow big enough, we have some comments down there. Maybe Disney will listen. You never know.
I'm hoping we get a sponsorship with Roosevelt soon. The partnership.
Roosevelt's real estate. Come on, our wallets are hurting. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
That would be wonderful.
No, at this point, I'm just banking the points. I can't wait to see what the top tier in the Roosevelt's Camp Kunu will be. I still don't know. I don't know what that's going to entail me spending to get to there, but I'm determined to get there. Okay, guys. Oh, geez. Well, dude, anyways, in other news, we had the craziest thing happen.
Yeah, the news of the week, pretty much, I would say.
I would say so. When I heard of this, this is, if you're wondering, this is what we were talking about with the old school style heist. To me, I've said this to Jer, this is one of those things that just reminds me of like something you would see in a movie. I don't
Oh,
I
it's
don't know another way
totally
around
Mission
it.
Impossible. It's like
They
you know,
that's what I meant to say. I kept saying like old school like mobster kind of thing. No, this is Mission Impossible is what this
yeah,
is. So guys, just so you know, on Sunday night, early Monday morning, just after midnight, a man stole $20,000 from Paddlefish at Disney Springs. Now, if you don't know about Paddlefish, it's a restaurant that is inside of an old steamboat looking ship that is at Disney Springs. Somehow, this guy threw on a wetsuit. He swam up, took his wetsuit off, stole the money while a manager was counting it for the night, and escaped by water using scuba gear. Um, he had two employees turn around and look at the corner while he made his escape. Again, Mission Impossible style, just sees him and just darts right off. The whole incident only took 2 minutes, and it's still ongoing investigation. And
and I will admit some of the details here, like it's not 100%. Like some of this is confirmed, some of this is not 100% confirmed. Like 2 minutes seems like not a lot of time for him to remove whatever he was wearing, steal stuff, put it back on, and go. I'm like, did this guy take off his wetsuit? Because once you get those things off, you're not putting them back on in 2 minutes. But it's crazy. I mean, I do want to express that it is. I'm very glad that the cast members working that night are safe and unharmed, and I hope they're doing okay mentally. It's just a crazy, crazy story I never expected to hear coming out of Disney World. Today, I was actually during my lunch break, I was looking at a map of Disney Springs and the waterways, and I was like, I don't even know where this guy goes. It's like everything kind of is surrounded. It's like he's either going to go over to Saratoga Springs or he's going to the parking lot, and that's really it. So I have a feeling whoever did this is going to get caught fairly soon because there's cameras everywhere on Disney property. So it was just a matter of time. I mean, they probably could. I mean, it depends. If he goes underwater, if he fully submerged himself and had a scuba gear, it would be very difficult to track where he went after that. I don't know how he knew where he was going in the dark, though. It's crazy.
It takes some serious skill. I mean, granted, you are in Florida. You do have that. I mean, it's a big diving training area. I mean, again, you're by the ocean, so that people are diving all the time. That being said, though, it's just a crazy story. I mean, we wanted to share it with you guys just because it seems Mission Impossible like. And again, like Jared said, we don't know 100%. All the details. This is what we know from the stories and articles we've read so far. Again, we want to express our condolences for the cast members. Hopefully, you guys are all doing okay. We sorry you guys had to go through that, but just
I know that like look at this picture. It's terrifying.
I mean, that's what I mean. Like maybe he didn't take it off. Maybe he just came off and it was like some Scooby Doo.
I don't know why you would take it off. Like why would you take a chance of revealing your identity? But
I mean, can you imagine like Scooby Doo style? A guy just comes up, just like the old school diving bell mask, and just like A
couple things I will mention about this is one, Paddlefish opened the next day, normal operating hours, as if it never happened. So good for them on getting their stuff together that quickly. And what was the other thing? What was I going to mention? Oh, he was also unarmed. I just think that's important to mention. I mean, he was terrifying enough, but he was not armed as far as they could see. And also, a nice thing about Paddlefish is it's a really nice restaurant up there. You see that little patio up there? You can actually get married up there. You can hold a small wedding up there.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen.
What do you learn about Disney Springs?
Yeah, it's real. It's actually not a bad. I've never eaten there, but it looks very nice. They redid it like probably 10 years ago. It used to look a lot different. They upscaled it.
No, it definitely does. All Disney Springs, it's a vibe. That's the best thing I can say about it. If you never had a chance to go ahead and check it out, the cool part about it is free to go do. It's Disney shopping district, and you can go pretty much anytime. Parking there is free. They want you to go there. You can get to it from any of the parks, or you can't get there from the parks. You have to go to one of the resorts.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
you can get there by bus, but I forget where you can pick it up.
Yeah, I've tried doing this in the past. Actually, this is why they don't allow that, because otherwise people are just getting free parking.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but yeah, no, you can definitely go from a resort directly over to there. That's nice and easy to go do, and they're fantastic. It's just Disney security too, so you're only safe as best as you can. And like Jared said, even though this guy did this, we're curious to hear more about it because not for nothing, everywhere in Disney, if you can think of an area that might not be covered by a camera, you're dead wrong. They are
Yeah.
like their security team is like next to none, and they work hand in hand with the Orange County Sheriff's Office to the point where there's always usually a officer stationed there at all times, multiple officers even. So that's just crazy, man. But dude, moving right on along, we got another announcement tonight for our next season coming up. Do you want to take us into it?
Yeah, so we got actually this came out today, the day we're recording. The narrator list for the Candlelight Processional has been announced. There's some really good names on there, such as Ashley Eckstein and Gary Sinise is coming back, Brandon Fraser, Brie Larson. You know who isn't on this list?
Who's that?
It is Neil Patrick Harris.
Yes, and also Olaf. What's his name?
Oh yeah, he does. I don't think he does it every year. Neil Patrick Harris pretty much did it every year.
I know. Last year he did it with Paging Mr. Morrow.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his name right now. Guy who plays Olaf. I know his name. Also Jennifer Gardner. That's a new interesting one. So and Ralph.
Josh Gad.
Josh Gad.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, he did a really good job with it too. And Ralph Machado, the guy from Karate Kid. I mean, it's a cool. I mean, they got a really good lineup. I like how there's a lot of variety. I mean, I always think it's interesting that Brandon Fraser, it's like his second or third time back. I always think it's interesting that he's on here because I'm trying to think. I'm like, I don't even know what Disney movie or production he's really been in, but that's Oscar winning Brandon Fraser there.
It is. No, he loves doing it too. It's so nice to go ahead and see these these different actors and people and all that go up there and do it. They do such a great job. And I think you are right. Neil Patrick Harris is one that I'm definitely going to miss. I know I always try to get on there when, on one of the live streams when he's there doing it. I don't know. They all put such a nice finesse to it. And guys, again, if you've never had it, we'll talk more about this as time gets into it and all that. But if you've never had a chance to go to the Candlelight Processional, wonderful event. All of Epcot kind of changes over for the festival of the holidays, and every country kind of tells a story of Christmas in their own country's way. So this goes ahead and shows the American side of Christmas usually. And it has a nice, beautiful choir with it, great music. It's just such a wholesome event that they do, and it's really awesome to go see. So if you haven't ever had a chance to, definitely go ahead and do that.
Yeah, we were there last year when it was happening. I caught some of it when Whoopi Goldberg was there. And my parents, my sister, they watched the entire thing. But I've seen it online before. It's just a phenomenal show. Beautiful singing. What's really cool about it is they bring in local choirs to back up the Voices of Liberty who sing on stage. And there's usually like 2 shows a day. And the other thing I will note is that some of depending on the narrator, can also bring in a different crowd. So like Jordan Fisher is a very popular guy around Disney because he sang the song "The Happily Ever After." And so when he goes, I'm sure that one's going to be a busy weekend. So just be aware of that. Plan ahead. And, this is one of those things you got to line up early for. Definitely do your research on it.
The cool part about this too, guys, is that this is free with your admission to the park.
It is. It's crazy that it's free because it's that good.
That's a great part that I love so much about Epcot too. Me and the wife have said it. Eventually, when we're full time down there, I can't wait to just go to some of the concerts that they do throughout the year, and just some of the events they do at that theater because it's unreal. Some of the quality of content and performances you get out of that theater and all that.
Yeah.
But so we'll talk more about that as time gets closer for the holidays and all that, because I'm not yet in Christmas tree season. I think that's what we're going to call it. I'm not going to go ahead and call it Christmas. I'm going to call it like Christmas tree season or jolly season.
Jolly season.
Because you guys will know when it's happening. Because my whole wardrobe, you think this is bad for Halloween, okay? you guy Nick here has a whole bag of Christmas shirts too.
It's true. It's true. We haven't even seen much of it.
No,
I've been
we
kind
really
of saving myself for a good Christmas shirt because
and I haven't even started. I haven't even had any new releases or anything like that yet for Roosevelt's yet. So once that happens, there's a couple. I am hoping and praying. Roosevelt's, if you're listening, you know what I want. Come on, let it happen. We'll cover that later on. Anyways, so Jared, that's enough about Christmas tree season or jolly season. But we need to go talk about something that I need more clarification on, because you threw this in here and you talked about the Muppets, and I'm getting overly excited. So you better calm me down. What's happening now?
The Muppets are coming back, Nick. They're coming back. So their 50th anniversary is now, I believe it's this year. They're coming to Disney Plus next year for a 1 episode special that could be the backdoor pilot to launching new series. So that's really all we know. And the other piece of this is that Sabrina Carpenter will guest star, which is really interesting. I'm a huge fan of Sabrina Carpenter. I love her music. She is not a PG singer. I'll put it that way. So seeing her in a Muppet setting will be interesting. But
I feel like Miss Piggy's going to have like a run for her money.
That's true. I was going to say her vibes, her and Miss Piggy are probably going to have like incredible chemistry. Like they're going to be electric on stage together or on the show together. So I'm really excited to see that. I've been telling myself I need to go back, catch up on my Muppets, because I have not seen nearly enough as I should. I've seen a decent amount, but I need to go back to the beginning. Especially after Muppet Vision 3D close, I'm like, I need to go back and watch some more stuff. So
there was a movie I saw recently. It was definitely not PG at all. It was a movie I saw. It had the same guy that plays in the Muppets movie, and he kept dropping like lines for the Muppets in it, and it was so hilarious. It came out around the same time. I'd have to look up the name of it. It was Mila Kunis and oh my gosh, what was his name? Hang on. Let's see. I got to pull this up. Oh, Jason Segel. He was in this movie, and he kept like, there was one point he's just like all depressed because he got like broken up with or whatever, and he's in there and he's just like singing like one of the Muppet songs, not like what is happening right now. It was so funny. I was like, he kept like making comments. She's like, all you want to go do is like go play with your puppets. He's like, Muppets. I was like, oh my gosh, it had me die. I think it had what's her name? Is it the voice of Anna in there as well? What's her name?
I don't know.
Kristen Bell. It had Kristen Bell in it too.
Okay. Nice.
I'll have to go ahead and figure out what it was. It was not at all a family-friendly movie, put it that way. But it was
so one we do not funny. Promote. But if you
don't promote, but it was funny. It was so funny.
If you are of age, you might enjoy.
It was very funny. You guys can do the homework. You can figure out what movie it is. Yeah. Those 3 actors, you got it. It was just really funny. He kept singing different Muppet songs in there and saying that. It was really cool.
Interesting. Well, Nick, I know we love Roosevelt's, and I love Roosevelt's. And I have to be honest with you, before Roosevelt's came along, there was one brand that I was pretty religious to.
Say it's not so.
It was before Roosevelt's, and that would be Columbia. Nick, what is the big news with Columbia?
You're making me talk about this one too. I'm sorry, Roosevelt's. Sorry. Anyways, so Columbia has a new Disney line for Mickey's Outdoor Club Collection. And actually, I saw this earlier. Actually, I meant to send this over to you. Glad you put this in here. Yeah, it's all 90s inspired winter clothes. So it reminds me a lot of like that picturesque like ski, skiing clothes and attire like that. We have sweaters, we have coats, we have shirts and accessories. But look at that. That just screams 90s right there.
Yeah, I really like them. So Columbia has done quite a few Disney collabs thus far. They've done a bunch of Star Wars ones. I have a couple. I do have like 1 or 2 Star Wars hats that I really love that are made by Columbia. I also have like a fleece zip up. They also made some really cool, like a Star Wars jacket that's Mandalorian that I've seen around that I really like. But I think this collection is really fun. It's very 90s esque. And like, yeah, I could see myself wearing, that t-shirt in the middle up here, and I really like that hat. I'm a big hat guy, and that hat's really calling to me.
I see that woman on the bottom left there wearing that like quarter button up.
Yeah.
And I just feel like she needs like one of those like paper cups, like with the.
Oh yeah,
you
no,
know,
I
you
know
know the
what
design I'm
you,
saying.
yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. If
Yeah,
you're from
the
the 90s, you know.
Yeah, it's
That's
a
too
cool
funny.
collection. Just be aware, like this stuff is not cheap. I'm sure. Anytime they do a collab with Disney, that's kind of outrageous.
Do we know? Is this going to be like on Disney Store, maybe online?
Some of it might. You will find if you're in Disney Springs, they will launch this in the flagship store. I have seen these collections go there. Although I don't know who's buying a fleece pullover in Florida, but or stuff that has skiing on it, because I don't know when you would ever go skiing in Florida, unless if you're maybe at Blizzard Beach. So then this
Fair
actually does match the vibes of Blizzard Beach very well.
I do like it. I mean, yeah. You get me talking about Blizzard Beach now. I'm getting excited. I might have to go check it out my next trip. I'll have some time. So.
Oh, don't want to go there yet.
Oh, don't go there yet. No, go away.
Yeah. You should check out Blizzard Beach. I like Typhoon Lagoon better between the two, but
well, they'll both be open. So
yeah, you definitely check out both.
And I'll have some time, so I'll go ahead and check it out. But Jared, you showed that picture right there, and you got me thinking, what could we be talking about next?
We're jumping in to our print of the week, man, and it's a good one.
Do you have a button yet to push for that says something funny? Because you need to at this point.
No, I have not made that. I will write that down for later.
You already did one for a popcorn bucket, man.
Yeah, that's because it's funny.
Popcorn bucket preview.
Well, I saw the button.
Oh, here we go.
Popcorn bucket preview.
God.
I got to do something for print of the week. But this
Fair
week,
enough.
the print of the week was a request. Someone said, I really would like an Autopia sign. And I said, you betcha. But he probably didn't realize how far I was going to take it. So, Nick,
you've been working on this for a while.
Yeah, this one took me a couple weeks.
So I wonder, was this like Bob Gurr that like went ahead and like called it, was like, hey, you with the 3D printer, make me one?
No, but honestly, I bet Bob Gurr would like this. I should send it to him.
Sure?
So this week we have our Autopia sign that exactly replicates what you see today.
Wow.
In Disneyland. And I got it down to a T, pretty much.
Wow, that looks like a lot of pieces.
It is only 3 pieces. I mean, these come off. These are removable. They just
are they magnetic? Oh, they slide in. Oh,
slide in. So
fancy.
They're all slide in. Put some feet on it, and then these I added at the end. But what's really cool about this is you don't need an AMS for the top piece, but if you want to do the rods as you see them, you do need an AMS for that, for this piece specifically. You could you probably could pause this if you wanted to, because I printed these straight up, so you could do filament swaps. It would just kind of, you have to do 1, 2, 3, like 5 of them. So
and I do want to go ahead and preface, not that this is one that you need that for, but last week Jared did mention the whole trick about switching between more than 4 colors on an AMS. It is doable. I didn't realize that. You kind of threw me for a loop there.
I do it all the time now.
It kind of blew me away.
I did it. I did it for this print. I did.
That's wild.
Yeah. Yep.
Because I went ahead. You saved me having to use my AMS for the whole day, which was awesome. Because I
know it's really.
I had Mickey.
Handy.
I'm like, I don't want to use like Mickey all day.
It's true. When you make your own designs, it's pretty handy.
It definitely is. But Jared, take us away. Tell us more about Autopia.
Yeah. So I'll show you quickly. This is So this is the sign. I mean, I would say I did it pretty close. You got even the things underneath it. It's really good. I'm really happy the way this came out, actually.
Dude, it came out great. You definitely worked hard on that. It looks awesome.
So, Nick, I'm going to take you through the history of Autopia, and I'm just excited to do it. So
let's do it.
Yeah, let's get into it. Autopia. So what is Autopia? Autopia is where you would cruise the scenic winding roads of this classic attraction in a car. You pick up pace under small bridges and see iconic attractions like the Matterhorn. So we're talking Disneyland right now. You'll see the Matterhorn in the distance, and you'll spot maybe Honda's robot, which we'll get into. So they are little gas cars. I would say probably have like lawnmower engines in them. They have a pedal and a steering wheel, and you can see 2 adults or 3 children in these cars. You don't need any license to drive them. So there are some height restrictions. Guests who are at least 54 inches tall may drive their own. Guests who are at least 32 inches tall are also invited to drive as long as they're accompanied by someone that is at least 54 inches tall. So essentially an adult.
Hit the pedals.
Yeah, they got to hit the pedals. So yeah, it's an awesome ride. This is where it's situated in Tomorrowland. Wow. So you do have some views. What's really cool is the monorail loops around all over it too, which is really awesome. And let's get into some of the history. So I'll start here. The Autopia is the only existing Tomorrowland attraction dating back to opening day on July 17th, 1955.
Wow.
Believe it or not. And it was designed by Disney legend and former Imagineer Bob Gurr.
Look at that guy.
Yeah, a little bit on Bob Gurr. I'm a huge fan of his. So he's designed more than just Autopia. He's worked on the Matterhorn bobsleds. He's the guy who designed the monorail. Basically, he said it himself. If it moves on wheels at Disneyland, I probably designed it. That's what he says. And he's definitely right. He's literally had his hands in everything. He was part of the original team that designed Disneyland. So it's crazy we're lucky that he's still here today. He is 93 years young and still offers his own tours in LA called Waltland.
That's crazy.
I know. It's like a bucket list thing I want to do. One, it would be cool just to meet him. 2, it would be awesome to take his tour. Whenever they have a D23 event in Anaheim, he's usually there. He's a very social person. He's just an awesome guy, considering, the knowledge that he has and, how friendly he is. And at his age, he's still going like that. I mean, it's really cool.
It is crazy, not to sidetrack, but I've seen a couple of videos of him, and one of them was him talking about the fire engine that Walt rode in one of the last photos of Walt and all. And he was mentioning, he says, I had to build that from the ground up, because he's like, how do you make something that small? It doesn't actually do that. He says, well, you take a whole lot of sheet metal and a Model T engine and you slap some stuff together and here you go. And it's like, wow, okay. He truly did design it from the ground up with a lot of the stuff and a lot of the vehicles of Main Street and different things like that. Yeah, he did all that. And it's just crazy to go ahead and see.
I know. He's incredible. Continuing on to more about Autopia. So, before I do that, I did want to mention I actually have 2 signed pieces of artwork in my room. The one on the left is Space Mountain. Actually, his signature is kind of faded in that one. Because he did have a hand in Space Mountain. And then on the right, you can see the Autopia classic attraction sign signed by Bob Gurr himself. So some of my favorite pieces. Don't mind my terrible photo frame that I cut with an X-Acto knife. It looks pretty bad if you look too close at it. But
you got
it's protecting.
One, laser cut one.
Yeah, I know. I need a 3D print one now. That would be a lot better. But yeah, it looks. I'm a proud owner of that. And if you're also looking for some Bob Gurr signed pieces, he sells stuff on his website. He sells like miniatures of the Matterhorn with his signature underneath.
That's really cool, actually.
Yeah, they're really nice, to be honest. I've thought about one multiple times. So more about Autopia. Hey, look at that guy. I think you know who that guy is, right? That's Walt. So when the ride first opened, there were no guide rails on the track, believe it or not, and there are spring bumpers on the car. So that meant that if you hit someone, you're just denting the car in front of you or behind you or in the side of you. So that entire fleet had to get replaced 3 times between 1955 and 1958. Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy why they wouldn't have just thought to fix that.
So, they did eventually. And
eventually.
Before we move on, you can see Walt here. And I think Bob is in here somewhere, but it's cool to see Walt in the original concept car.
That's
Uh,
crazy.
and then eventually, in the year of 1964, the guide rails were finally installed. And by then, they were on the Mark 7 fleet. Isn't that insane?
Oh wow! Holy
Yeah.
cow!
But they're really cool. I like how they say Disneyland on the front. They don't
Yeah,
do
I
that.
like that.
They don't say that anymore. In the year of 2000, Disneyland replaced the tracks, and they got much larger cars, and they were sponsored by Chevron. Not here. We're still in the 70s on this one. Um, Here we are in the 2000s. So that was I actually have seen it in this state. I think my first time to Disneyland, we did. It was still in this current design. The colorful, so they were like colorful. So before they were like those colorful Stingray Corvette styles, and then they kind of moved over to these three different versions. And they were all based on different characters. And this characters, like the two you see on the left, you could see in the queue. And that was back then. Back then, like it was really interesting because in the queue they would have these like show boxes, right? And they would have these scenes play out between these characters that were these cars. And so it was a 3D show set, but the cars were like projected in the space.
Hmm.
So it was, and at the time, I was like, thought it was the coolest thing as a kid. I could not stop looking at them.
That's cool.
Yeah, and so there are some characters. So you have Dusty, which is an off-road style car. That's the guy on the right here. Sparky, the sports car, that's the guy on the left. And then there's also Susie, the Volkswagen Beetle style car. I couldn't find a picture of her. So, and they actually did make toys for them as well. So it kind of went with that. And that was around 2000. So what's also cool is they had a bunch of different cars on the track now. So now you could get one of the three kind of designs, and that's consistent to what you see today. You might get a different design. So the cars actually really haven't changed since then. However, the Chevron, what do you call it, sponsorship eventually did go away, and Honda
Like
took
many other
over.
rides.
Yes, and Honda took over.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, Honda took over, and they put. I think it's funny because I think they mentioned in what I was reading yesterday that they were already had Honda engines to begin with, so it was kind of fitting that they actually were sponsored by Honda. And so the ride got some new paint, and they also added Osmo, which is Honda's robot, seen on the left, and he also has a bird, and Nick, that bird's name is just Bird.
Bird.
Yeah. And since then, the ride really has not changed that much ever since 2016. But it's still an awesome ride. Versions of this ride can be found elsewhere. Obviously, at the Magic Kingdom, you have the Tomorrowland Speedway. That's actually the only one that isn't called Autopia. I think all the rest are. And then Disneyland Paris also still has their Autopia. And there was an Autopia in both Hong Kong Disneyland and Tokyo Disneyland, but they are both permanently closed, unfortunately.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, we'll get into there's I guess some talking points on Autopia, but just want to mention some of the unique features of Autopia. Is that the ride itself is really cool. It's very different from what we've had here. They have a lot more showpieces. So obviously you just saw Osmo and the bird. They have like, my favorite section is you go through an off-road section. So
would you say it's like a drivable version of Test Track?
Yes, but not nearly as fast. It's still the same speed. But yeah, actually, that's a good way to put it. Sort of, not the same concept. Like, we're not talking about building cars.
You're not going to the sim track here, guys.
No, I mean, we're not that you're even in the sim track there anymore, but you're just enjoying the ride rather than
you're old school tire kicking. Oh, I need to go see how this vehicle performs on the road.
Yeah, but there's a lot more to look at at Autopia versus the Tomorrowland Speedway. I'll just say that,
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think it's a cool attraction. I was really impressed with it when I was there. But yeah, Nick, do you have any good memories? I mean, I know you haven't been and rode Autopia, but do you have any good memories on Tomorrowland Speedway?
Yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit about it earlier, actually. Going around with some of the Christmas decorations and overlays, really cool. Adds a lot of flair to it. I still think it's kind of crazy that we're in 2025. We still have the same kind of style gas engines pushing these cars around the track and all that. But it brings that picturesque theme park vibe to Tomorrowland. A lot of other theme parks across the country and across the world, you usually have some form of cars like that. And it's good to have that. So it's the iconic. To me, when I think of a park like that, I'm usually thinking a couple things, right? We have a carousel, we usually have cars, we'll have a roller coaster of some sort. Obviously Magic Kingdom checks all the boxes to the 15th plus power. But that being said, it is really an awesome attraction. They do have an awesome kind of theme going for it with the whole racetrack idea. I do think it is pretty dated at this point, and I wish they would kind of give it more of a facelift, aside from maybe just painting it. I feel like at this point it's probably been painted over several times now at this point.
Yeah.
But it's wear and tear, and unfortunately, with a ride like that, you are dealing with gas engines and oil and stuff like that. So it's going to kind of be that way, I feel like, until they ever do an upgrade, and if they will or not, who knows.
Now, are you surprised? So I remember like thinking about Tron, and everyone's debating where's Tron going back in the day. Were you surprised that it didn't take Tomorrowland Speedway spot?
I'm very surprised.
Yeah.
Extremely surprised, especially considering the footprint that Tron took up.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it at first when they were still building Tron, and I'm like, that's massive. That's a whole other area that was never done up. And let's face it, guys. I mean, at the end of the day, with Magic Kingdom in that area, you're running out of space in that particular spot. It's not like the back of the park where you have the woods, right, or anything like that. We've even talked about that with Villains Land. It's going to keep going further back, but we're like, a lot's going to have to get diverted. You're going to have the train that's going to have to get diverted around. And right now it's running in backwards mode, which just still blows my mind. But the only way, in my opinion, that you could do it is to go further back. But again, how do you do something like that? Well, Fantasyland is really kind of blockading all that with our most iconic attractions and locations. So with this, it really did throw me for a loop that Tomorrowland sits on the side of all that. It's behind that, which is just crazy to me. I mean, I think now looking at it, the location makes sense. But at the time, I was very shocked by that.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And it's crazy how long the attraction's been around and how minor upgrades it has gotten over the years. It's crazy that we're still using gas and not electric cars yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I granted charging a car every night is probably extremely cumbersome versus just throwing some gas and oil in it and just probably more, maybe, I don't know, not more reliable, but just easier to maintain, I'm guessing.
Well, to rebuttal that, I would say that if you think about the way they do a lot of the other new rides like Rise of Resistance and Runaway Railroad, those are actually all electric cars right there.
Oh, you're right.
If you were to go ahead and do the same idea like they did with having the pads on the floor and the recharging system and all that, or on the ground rather, that have the recharging system like that, I think you could easily do it and be able to go ahead and do a quick charge, back out. You know what I mean? And the way you queue them up anyways is obviously the way they already are, right? You have the whole row of cars. You know that within a certain amount of time, it's going to be at that station, right? Until all, everyone's unloaded, loaded. And maybe that changes the way that we load and how fast we load. But at the end of the day, it would be able to change up the technology behind it. I think it'd be kind of interesting. I think we have the technology to do it, but I think it's just a matter of when and how much Disney wants to invest in that right now. We have so much other new stuff they've done so far. Who knows?
Right. I mean, we haven't seen that technology a lot outside, and we're going to see it soon. And this is a good segue. So, Nick, no one's talked about this, and I don't know why we're not. We're getting, in the Magic Kingdom, we're getting brand new Cars attraction on the other side of the park. So everyone's focus is River America side. Once those attractions open, you have 2 outdoor car attractions. Do you think there's a chance that Tomorrowland Speedway will make its exit?
That's a good point. Um, I think it's going to depend on what that ride is going to feature. I
Right.
think if it features a lot of the same aspects that you're talking about of Autopia, where you are outside, you do kind of go through different environments. I think that would certainly be, it would kind of pull me towards yes to that answer. But I think as far as the nostalgia behind it, that's like saying you're going to go ahead and close like Prince Charming's carousel and all that. It's just not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of nostalgia with this ride. I just think I don't want to see it go away. I just think the chances rise drastically when you put Piston Peak in the same lineup of attractions.
Sure. No, I totally agree with that. And again, I'm curious to see what it's really going to be like and what it's going to, how it's going to operate and just the whole ride vehicle and everything behind it. I think it's going to be really unique to see.
Yeah, we
Um,
definitely know that one of them is a more intense ride and that the other one might be a more tame. And I'm wondering, like, how tame is it? Is it tame to the point of Tomorrowland Speedway where it's pretty much accessible for everybody? Or is it a little bit on the higher end, a little bit more thrill? So there's still a reason to keep around Tomorrowland Speedway.
True. I mean, and to think about it too, I just had a thought. We see a lot of I think they kind of have perfected it to a sense with Test Track. I mean, you have ride vehicles that are electric powered going outside with those. So that is something to kind of think about, I guess, there too. Although I think that might be more pneumatic powered than anything. I hear a lot of clicking, a lot of like air brakes and stuff like that. So I don't know.
Hmm.
That's something more to dive into, maybe for another time. But that's a good talking point right there, though, man. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, and the other thing I will say is Tomorrowland thrives on its constant movement. You know, the movement of the people mover, the and the movement of the cars and the people. So taking that away would definitely take away from Tomorrowland's kinetic energy of what they're trying to. The point I think they're trying to get apart is just keep moving, like we're keep moving
We
forward.
keep moving forward.
So I think if you do take away Tomorrowland Speedway, you got to replace it with something that visually is as appealing. You can't put a
Yeah.
show building there. I think that
No.
would just kill the vibe of the whole area. Like there's like having that is probably one of the when you're on um the people mover, that's one of the nice things you can look over as you're passing by you know so
I mean, they're two of the best circuits in the galaxy, man.
it's true. It's true. So yeah, I mean, Nick, I definitely I hope you enjoyed our Autopia section.
Absolutely.
I hope that we get to ride on the Tomorrowland Speedway or Autopia together one day.
Absolutely.
Today I was stuck with my own sidekick in the car. I had my friend Mr. Milo here. He wants to say hello.
Oh boy, do we have more friends coming here? Oh no, he's lost him. That must mean he's just ripping through the bed pillows.
No, he's hiding under the bed, so I don't think he's coming out.
Oh,
He doesn't like the beeping of our microwave. I'll put it that way. No, he like literally. Yeah, I know he's under there, but I'm
Jared,
not going to pull him out
right
now.
Did you put something in the microwave for 100 minutes again?
No, he just doesn't like beeping, and he heard it, and now he's hiding.
Jared over here thinking you just cook a bag of chicken in the microwave entirely,
So I'm going to pull out my dust bunny after we're done talking.
All right, fair enough. Well, guys, he was trying to go bring a friend on this show. Maybe next week we'll have a friend too. Who knows? Stay tuned. But two more things. Actually, you know what? We'll save that next little bit for next week. We'll keep you guys wondering what we're going to talk about. It's another print, but and it's not ours, but it sure as heck looks fantastic. So, Jared, we'll push that one to next week because I want to bring up one more thing because we're getting on time here.
Sure.
So I did want to mention there is my mashup video because, of course, I got to go do a video when I go to Disney. There's a video tomorrow night or tonight because this is dropping Friday. We're recording Thursday, so you guys know how it goes. Usually Wednesday or Thursday. We're back on our Thursday routine. Woo woo. I have our video now. Jer hasn't even seen this one, so I'm curious his reaction. I want to see it next week. But video is dropping tomorrow night, 6 p.m. It's dropping, and you guys will be able to go ahead and see. I feel like one of my best montages yet. So enjoy. Talked a lot about or showed a lot of the beacon barrel in there, and kind of went through a lot of things that we've been talking about in the stream or the video and or podcast rather, and just things we wanted to go ahead and show you guys. So hope you guys definitely enjoy it. Seriously, guys, thank you all again. We cannot thank you enough for the love that you guys have been giving us. We mentioned it on the page the other day. We are on TikTok now too. Jared went ahead and got that up. We're working on getting an Instagram set up, so stay tuned. We'll be seeing obviously a lot of this, same kind of stuff going across, but we're getting a ton of views now with everything, guys. And we seriously want to say thank you. We love the support and everything that you guys bring to it. And we love doing this every week. We really do. We look forward to this. We love, or at least I love seeing what Jared designs and shares with us. Stay tuned, guys. He has some absolute bangers. I cannot wait for you guys to see him. He told me I can't show you guys. It made me a little bit sad. But eventually. Anyways, though, guys, seriously, thanks again. And we can't wait to see you on the next one. So I think with that, we will see you in the future. Take care, guys.